Today we are going to discuss about writing bibliometric analysis paper by using VOSViewer. As a part of today's session, we are going to discuss about what is bibliometric analysis. We are going to discuss about various types of research papers published by various scholars with the help of VOSViewer. And we are going to look at how different scholars have written papers and what are the steps they have followed it and what we can learn from them. Basically, we are going to review their research papers as a part of this particular session. After reviewing the various papers, I'm going to discuss about step by step how one can write bibliometric analysis paper by using VOSViewer. Before starting the session, let me tell you that as a part of bibliometric analysis, we have various softwares are available. I'm also going to discuss what are the softwares, though I'm not going to discuss how one can use other softwares other than VOSViewer and BiblioShiny. But I will introduce what this particular software is all about it. Coming to the first one, what is bibliometric analysis? Bibliometric analysis is the statistical analysis of bibliographic data, commonly focusing on citation analysis of research outputs, publications, including books, conference proceedings, articles, any other research paper published in the form of publication that you can refer them. Yesterday, that is last 2 days, we have discussed about systematic literature review. As a part of systematic literature review, we have collected some papers and we have analyzed the content of the paper. Whereas when it comes to the bibliometric analysis, we are only going to deal with the metadata. What is the difference here is that as a part of systematic literature review, we are trying to gather certain articles as per our requirement, as per our research objective. Let's take for example, I was talking about performance of social enterprises and its impact on sustainable development. In this particular title, we have two to three different variables we have, like social entrepreneurship, its performance, and its impact on achieving sustainable development. Now, by using Prisma guidelines, protocols, we are trying to gather as much as articles as possible. By inclusion exclusion criteria, you will select certain full text articles, and I will go through that based on your research objectives as a part of systematic literature review. You will go through the content, whether it is going to be quantitative analysis or qualitative analysis that you are going to carry it. But whereas when it comes to the bibliometric analysis, just like systematic literature review, we are going to gather the data from Scopus, Web of Science. We have various databases. Even for bibliometric analysis, we have a couple of databases. I'm going to show you that what are the databases, one can use it. But when it comes to the content of the paper, we are going to deal with metadata. What is meant by metadata? Let's take, for example, if you look at this particular slide right now, this particular article, title of the article is Bibliometrics, an R tool for comprehensive science mapping analysis. Tomorrow we are going to use R tool, BiblioShiny. Okay. Now this is the title of the article. Who are the scholars? Who was the first author, second author? Title of the journal is Journal of Informatics. And who was the publisher? Elsevier. And when it was published, which year it was published, what are the keywords of the author, what is the abstract. Okay, so we are dealing with the metadata. In addition, as a part of this particular metadata, we are also going to deal with what is the citation score, what is the impact factor of this particular journal, how many people cited this particular article, what is the productivity of this particular two authors, whether this particular two authors are coming from the same country, are they coming from the same university, what kind of collaboration they have it, which are the topmost ranking journals, which are the top cited articles. So basically, as a part of bibliometric analysis, we are trying to understand, we are going to put it in the form of quantitative data, like bibliographical data, mainly focusing on citation analysis of research outputs. What kind of output? For example, the people, those are here, our colleagues, I'm sure some of you are hanging around 20 papers. There are also scholars might be hanging 2 papers. But the problem here is that the person who is hanging 20 papers, what is their citation score? What is their impact in terms of their contribution? What is their productivity? The person who is hanging only 2 publications, they might be hanging a good number of citations also. What is the quality of the work one can able to decide based on the citation, based on the number of people are referring to that? Maybe some of you can argue with me, sir, my paper is a very good paper, but I have published it in a local journal and I don't have much citations. I have published my article in book, nobody is citing to me. my article is not visible. Now, these days, thanks to information technology, advancement of technology, we have access to various e-resources. Publishing paper, spending good amount of time writing research paper is not sufficient right now, these days. We also need to ensure that what are the work that you are doing it. You also need to ensure that this paper will reach as many people as possible. Especially the faculty members, those are in this particular workshop, they knows about what is the visibility, what is the importance of visibility of their contribution, especially when it comes to publications, research projects, the kind of academic contribution they are making to that. The people, those are at the early stage of their career, may not be able to understand various impact scores, various contributions, but it is having a lot of weightage, right? Now, bibliometric analysis help us to understand what is the research outcome, what is the research output one has contributed it. And we are also going to look at, with the help of VOSViewer, we are going to look at it different kind of networks between countries, between institutions, among scholars from different parts of India, different parts of the world. So basically, this is all about bibliometric analysis, and this is a simple difference between systematic literature review and bibliometric analysis. Before going to discuss about further, I just brought this particular slide. This is image news clip. It was written by Nis John. He was the scholar. He was the credit goes to this particular person. He was a person came up with this particular software known as VOSViewer. Today we are all meeting here. We are discussing about bibliometric analysis. To Professor Nis Jan. He is coming from Leiden University. He was the person developed this particular software, VOSViewer. Here, all you can go through here. A new scientific paper is published every 30 seconds. Means for every 30 seconds, one new paper is coming out. And there are 10,000 updates to PubMed every day. Now, I'm talking about only PubMed. PubMed is only one database. Other day, I was talking about there are 28 databases. Every database may not be having this much of volume of resources. But on average, at least you can see that databases like Scopus, Web of Science, I'm sure they must be getting this same kind of volume of data. Now, as a researcher, you belong to a particular discipline, name it like social science, psychology, or any kind of social science, natural sciences, life sciences. You are not the only person writing research paper. Now, if you want to understand the entire research contribution in a particular domain, even if you narrow down it, for example, I'm talking about social entrepreneurship, I can narrow down it to a certain extent like social entrepreneurship and sustainable development. Still, I can find lakhs of articles, at least thousands of articles. As a researcher, it is not possible for me to go through the entire contribution. For example, other day, one of our colleagues was asking, sir, I want to do it a systematic literature paper. If I go through 30 papers, is good enough? If you want to do systematic literature review, I was saying that minimum 40 papers you should have it, that is full text. But initially must be gathering data 60, 70 or 200 articles. And by following inclusion exclusion criteria, you are going to finalize certain amount of articles, around 40 or 60, 70 articles for writing systematic literature review. In case, if you are going to write traditional literature review, you might be selecting 20 articles, 30 articles. Basically, your intention, your objective is to compile, to compare, to contrast, to give the overview of the existing research. Now, as we are seeing that there are so many databases, there is good amount of research work is going on it. It is not easy for any human being to process the entire information in a particular domain, in a particular context, in a particular concept wise. So thanks to Professor Nis for him to coming with this kind of software, VOSViewer. It helps us to understand not 30 papers, 40 papers, even thousands of papers one can able to analyze it. Because as I mentioned at the beginning, not like systematic review, as a part of bibliometric analysis, we are only dealing with metadata, means we are only dealing with bibliographic analysis. Like systematic literature review, we're not going to deal with the content of the paper. We are going to deal with the metadata, that is bibliometric data of the research papers published. Now, I hope it is very clear to all the difference between systematic literature review and bibliometric analysis. Before talking about how to conduct bibliometric analysis step by step, just see a couple of papers. I have already shared with a couple of papers with you all. Look at the review of a couple of papers. I'm looking at the first paper. We are trying to understand various scholars, their contribution, what kind of structure they have followed it, what kind of how they have written the research paper. Basically, you're trying to review the existing research papers in the area of bibliometric analysis. Title of the paper is Bibliometric Analysis of Sustainable Business Performance. Where are we going? A science map of the field. Now, in this particular research paper, just directly go to VOSViewer findings right now. They are presented in the form of graphs, as I mentioned it. As we are not dealing with the content of the paper, we are only dealing with the metadata like number of citations, number of publications over the time. Let's take, for example, here from 1996 to 2011, the area of sustainable business performance, we have articles from the year 1999 to 2001. Next one, we have top 15 most active institutions, which are the top most 15 universities publishing in the area of sustainable business. Okay. If you look at the entire paper, I'm talking about the content of the paper as a part of research findings of the paper. They're basically providing simple frequency tables, cross tabulation, they are providing it. Data visualization tools, they are providing it. Okay. This is nothing but data visualization. Co-citation network, who are the people are citing it. So number of citations, top 10 cited references in the selected sample. So what are the sample this particular research is selected? What are the top 10 cited references? What are the top 10 publications? What are the top 10 scholars, countries, institutions? Top 10 most collaborative authors. Top 10 journals in the area of sustainable business. Top 10 authors in the area of bibliographic coupling. I'll talk about it. What is bibliographic coupling? So we can see that there are different data visualization tools. Co-occurrence of keywords. I have shown you keywords as a part of metadata. How keywords are occurring. One can able to see the cluster analysis. I'm going to discuss at the time of findings part. So this particular scholar presented the data visualization tool of co-occurrence of keywords. Density diagram. Co-occurrence of keywords overlay diagram. So there are three types of diagrams. Network analysis, density analysis, and overlay analysis. Timeline view of co-occurrence of network of keywords. How different keywords are coming in the sustainable business. How concepts are emerging. Okay, based on the title and based on the abstract. One can able to present co-occurrence of the keywords. Let me show you one more paper. We have one more paper. A bibliometric analysis of blockchain technology research using VOSViewer. Okay. Just look at the research findings, how they have presented the data. Number of publications by year in the area of blockchain technology. Number of publications by document. We have article type, conference paper, review paper, and others. When it comes to the bibliometric analysis, we can select any type of document. Whereas when it comes to systematic review, it is suggested to select only research papers published in journals in order to maintain the quality of the work. Because you are dealing with the content of the paper. We have so many checklists while dealing with systematic literature review, quality assessment checklist. Yesterday we have discussed about it. Whereas when it comes to the bibliometric analysis, we don't have much quality assessment tools because we're not dealing with the content of the paper. The main objective for me to tell you that from last 10 minutes, I'm discussing about we're not dealing with the content of the paper. We are only dealing with the bibliometric analysis, bibliographic data. Publications by source means publications by journals. Which are the top journals? Citation performance by journals. Which journals have highest citations, more number of citations? Network visualization. So these are some of the data visualization tools one can prepare by using VOSViewer. Next one, bibliometric analysis using VOSViewer step by step. There are a couple of important steps one has to follow. Number one, define the aims and scope of bibliometric analysis of the study. Define the aims and scope of bibliometric analysis of the study. Yesterday, I mentioned that if you go through around 5 systematic literature papers, one can able to write your own research objectives, research questions for 6th article. Similarly, if you can able to go through the research objectives of bibliometric analysis of couple of papers, one can easily write your own research paper. Only thing is context is going to be changed. For your better sake, I just brought the example from the Professor Ahmad Muhammad. Whichever paper you look at it, review any research paper, any bibliometric analysis paper. What are objectives they have listed here? they are going to be part of that particular paper. I'm not saying that this particular research paper is going to include all 10 objectives. Depends on the scope of the study, depends on your research objectives. You're going to keep objectives from this particular list that you have. For example, let's see one of the case study. We have bibliometric analysis of sustainable business performance. Where are we going? Right now I discussed about it. If you look at research questions of this particular paper, what are the most influential journals, authors, countries, and research papers in the field? Now, I'm talking about in the field here, this is nothing but sustainable business performance. Now, if somebody is coming from education background, if somebody is coming from teaching pedagogy or leadership style, if somebody is coming from psychology or educational psychology, take it any field, you're simply going to apply what are the most influential journals, authors, countries, and research papers in the field of social entrepreneurship, in the field of sustainable development, in the field of frugal innovation, in the field of banking. You can simply apply it as it is. Second question, what are the key emerging research trends related to sustainable business performance that could open directions to unexplored avenues of research in the field? Now, I mentioned that there are 11 to 12 ways one can write research objectives. But as a researcher, you're going to decide whether you want to write only 3 objectives, 4 objectives, 5 objectives. It depends on your purpose of the study. It's not compulsory you have to take all the 11 applications of bibliometrics here. For example, this particular scholar, Bota, he included only 4 research objectives, but each research objective is very broad. Third one is, what is the intellectual structure of knowledge related to sustainable business performance? What are the most researched topics that have been studied with the greatest frequency and are currently attracting the most attention? This can be your research objectives as well. Let's take, for example, another study. We look at it. I believe all of you are familiar with CSR concept. Look at here. I'm not going detail about the paper. I'm just directly going to objectives or research questions. Given the overview, given the importance of the CSR to achieve sustainable development, we want to get an overall knowledge about the contribution of CSR to sustainable development in the academic field. Especially, we are wondering that to what extent CSR is related to sustainable development. Has the relationship between CSR and social entrepreneurship evolved over the time? Additionally, CSR is nothing but corporate social responsibility. Additionally, how is the knowledge structure shaped between them? What are the hotspots? How did they evolve over time? Means, what are the research trends and how they evolved over the time? How they evolved means how each concept, for example, as a part of CSR, there are different concepts. How each concept is coming up, when it was started evolving. For example, when I talk about CSR, over the time, how they evolved means when we started talking about CSR, when we started talking about amendments, when we started about within CSR sustainable development. So how concepts are emerging over the period of time. So even if you look at the second research title, objectives are similar, almost similar, right? Let's see another one more. If somebody is coming from financial background and economics background, just you can look at here. First research question, what are the most influential authors, documents, institutions, sources, countries regarding the financial and economic implications of COVID-19 pandemic research? Can you compare this one and this research objectives? I don't see any difference. Almost they are all similar, right? What I mean to say here that even if you look at not 5 articles, even if you look at 10 articles, you may find that all the research questions are almost similar. Only context is different. So my sincere suggestions to each one of you is that if you really want to write bibliometric analysis paper, try to select 5 to 6 articles in your own domain and see how they are framing the research objectives, research questions, and simply can frame your research questions. So please go through this particular 11 research trends. For example, to identify research trends and growth of knowledge, one can frame, one can rephrase it, and you can put it in different format also. It's not compulsory that you have to frame in the similar format as such. Second one, to identify authorship and its trends in documents on various subjects. To forecast future publication trends, that is another important research objectives, one can see that. To predict productivity of the publishers, means, for example, I want to see Dr. Rao got last publication in the year 2023. And from last 5 years, what was his productivity? productivity in terms of how many people are citing his work, what kind of contribution he's having it, what is the impact factor of his journals, what is the impact factor of his articles. Okay, what are the individual authors, organizations, countries. I can also look at the productivity of your own university. We can also look at the productivity of your own country. So for that, it helps us to understand, to predict the productivity of your university. For example, we are all having issues with NIRF ranking. I'm sure all of you might be knowing, especially all the faculty, respective faculty members. Those are part of this particular workshop. Well, some of you are maybe part of IQAC cell. Some of you are part of research divisions unit or research division departments. You might be dealing with a lot of data which is related to your own faculty members, what kind of publication they have it, how many Scopus publication they have it, how many Web of Science publication they have it, and how much institutional ranking they are getting time to time, year to year. We have a lot of competitions, and based on that competition also we have getting funding from the UGC and various countries, right? So productivity, knowing the productivity of particular institutions, it is also very important. Getting funding, getting name, in terms of visibility of your institutions, in terms of ranking of the institutions, also very important. To assess research performance, micro, meso, and macro level, not only at local level, at institutional level, at international level also, one can able to identify the research performance of individuals of the countries. To evaluate the impact of research output, that I mentioned already about it. To identify journals with the greatest impact in various research areas. For example, I'm not here to deal with, I don't want to do bibliometric analysis of sustainable business performance. I want to do the bibliometric analysis of particular journal. Somebody can name the journal that you know, anyone? Right now, if you look at this particular slide, we can see there are two journals we have, title of the journals. Perhaps I'm talking about name of the journal. Let's take, for example, in this particular slide, as you can see, left side top, this particular article, I got it from the Sustainability Journal. Right side, we have Economic Research. Professor Bhumika, I don't know what is this journal, but imagine that Journal of Organizational Studies is there functioning from last 25 years. Okay. Now, I want to see the number of articles published in this particular area. What are the key themes that are emerging? What are the themes that are covered in this particular journal? What is the citation of this particular journal? In this particular journal is running from last 25 years. But who are the top 10 scholars having highest citation? Which paper is having highest citation? I'm saying that it can be top 10, it can be top 20, it can be top 30. You can decide it as a researcher. By default, if you look at most of the papers, generally they say that top 10 article. I'm selecting particular journal. I'm trying to look at the performance of this particular journal. From last 25 years, what is the impact of this particular Journal of Organizational Studies? Who are the scholars? And in this particular journal, do we have Indian scholars or foreign scholars? And within that others, what kind of collaboration we have it? Whether we are having more collaborations from foreign countries or Indian authors' point of view, right? So one can also do it on the basis of journal. We can take one particular journal. We think that particular journal is having nearly 5 years and 10 years period of time or 20 years period of time. Just take it that particular journal and you can select the articles only from that particular journal. You don't need to select any articles from any other journals. Basically, the intention is to identify journals with the greatest impact in various research areas. The main object of my research is to identify the journals with greatest impact. I'm only looking at my own journal so that I can talk about my journal. For example, 2 years back, I was reading one article. It was published by Mr. Ganapati. He's a librarian. He's working at Entrepreneurship Development Institute of India. He was one of the good person in terms of good, kind person. He helped me a lot when it comes to gathering a lot of material for my studies purpose point of view. So he also shared his article. I felt very happy while reading his paper. What are the papers published in Entrepreneurship Journal? As EDI is having a renowned journal, Sage publication. So I just came to know what are the articles are published in this particular journal. And I asked him, sir, these are the articles I required it. After going through his paper, I said, sir, these are the top 10 papers I required it. So one can able to trace what the top 10 citations, what are the top 10 contributors point of view, right? So that can be one research objectives. Next, to support applications for promotion tenure, grant funding, as already mentioned about it. We all know that what is the importance of having publication scopus, having impact factor journal publications, right? We all know about it in terms of promotion, in terms of tenure, in terms of grant funding as well. Next one, to identify potential research collaboration opportunities. To enhance the international reputation of research activities, it also helps us to understand, if you look at most of the bibliometric analysis, most of the authors are coming from different countries. And is also going to help us writing bibliometric analysis paper. Compared to one country, how other countries are having most important contribution in the area of particular domain, or who are the most scholars from which country they are coming from, right? So we can also contact them when it comes to calling them an expert. We can invite them as a part of your workshop, can identify easily, looking at their contribution, looking at the kind of work they have done it, right? That way also it helps us to understand. To identify areas of research strength and weaknesses. So looking at the impact factors, citation factors, one can able to identify the strengths and weaknesses of research papers. So these are some of the applications one can consider as a part of writing research objectives and research questions as a part of your bibliometric analysis paper. Next step, choose the techniques of bibliometric analysis. We have so many techniques are available. Now, as a part of the second step, we have to choose certain techniques for conducting bibliometric analysis. Though this particular workshop, as a part of this particular workshop, I'm going to use only VOSViewer today, and tomorrow we are going to use Biblioshiny. But there are so many other softwares. As you can see this particular slide, there is a software tool Inspire. It was developed in the year 1999. It was developed by Pacific Northwest National Laboratory. Okay. Second one, CiteSpace. I don't know, is there any library in our team? Most of the librarians, they knows about it, especially those are coming from library science and information subject. They might be using time to time various softwares. CiteSpace is another important software. After VOSViewer, I have seen good number of papers by using CiteSpace. Bib Excel is another software. We can see good number of papers. And SkyMat is another important software. We can see good number of papers as a part of bibliometric analysis. Okay. So we are going to cover two softwares. One is VOSViewer. Second one is Biblioshiny as a part of today and tomorrow. Next step, number 3, collect the data for bibliometric analysis. Collect the data for bibliometric analysis. Before that, you can see how one can write a research methodology paper. As a part of research methodology, we can have 4 stages. First one is database and search protocol. We have different kind of databases. We have it just like systematic literature review. Even as a part of bibliometric analysis, one can use data sources collecting from Scopus, Web of Science, PubMed, Europe, PMC, Dimensions, cross-reference, Wikidata, semantic scholars. If you're going to download the data from this particular data sources, one can use VOSViewer for analyzing the data. Collect the data. Now, yesterday we had a detailed discussion about how to select the data by using various searching strategies like field notes, phrase searching, truncation, wildcards, Boolean operators. Yesterday we had covered in detail about it, each and every aspect of how one can search the data from the Scopus, right? Similar way one can able to collect the data for VOSViewer as well, for bibliometric analysis as well. Next one, as a part of data analysis, as a part of data collection, just like systematic literature review, we are going to collect the data information about citation information, where we are going to include entire citation information, all the details we are going to add it here. Similarly, bibliographical information we are going to add it here. Abstract and keywords we are going to include. And lastly, we are also going to include references. We are going to export the data in the form of CSV format. Next one, how to analyze the data. As a part of presenting bibliometric analysis, just like systematic literature review, one can use Prisma flow chart. Just like systematic literature review, one can also use Prisma flow chart. Let's take for example, in this particular article, there is sustainable business performance. In this particular article, there is sustainable business performance. The scholar, by using Web of Science data, they collected 3,273 references. 3,273 references. They have collected data from Web of Science. Total articles screened, So they look at the articles. They have, after looking at the duplications, duplications, articles excluded based on the application of exclusion criteria as disclosed in table 1. Let's see what is table 1 here. Please look at here, please, everyone. The researcher used a strategy. For example, by using this particular table, we can reproduce the entire study. By using this particular table, we can reproduce the research paper. As it is, we can reproduce the research paper. Why? Because the research has given clear instructions, clear procedure, how they have collected the data. Search string used in such refinement topics: sustainable business performance, sustainable business value, sustainable performance, sustainable business. These are the keywords were used by the scholar for collecting the data. That is 3000 plus articles. By using this many keywords, they collected 3000 plus articles from the Web of Science. What are the criteria? Including both open access and others. Period is from including only articles until 2021. There are few articles published already in 2023. Though there are articles in the year published 2022, but the scholar collected data from only up to 2021. Okay. Subject area, these are the filters. Yesterday also we have covered about it. I'll show with the help of our data set. Business, if you're coming from business background or economics background, management background, accordingly, one can able to select it criteria. Because as I mentioned it, if you're not coming from particular subject, it is expected that you may not be able to justify the concept. So that is the reason we also need to select the subject area. Compared to systematic literature review, in this particular case, we have more number of subjects because we are only dealing with bibliometric analysis. We are not dealing with the content of the paper. So as a result, you can also see the number of keywords, subject areas one can include it here. Document type. The search was limited to document type articles. And this particular scholar, though there are conference proceedings, though there are chapters, but this particular scholar included only 2 types of papers. As a researcher, you can take the call whether you want to include only 1 type of the paper or want to include 2 types of paper or 3 types of paper or 4 types of paper. You can only take the call based on the volume of the articles that you have. As I mentioned yesterday while talking about systematic literature review, if you have good amount of volume of papers, try to keep as many as inclusion exclusion criteria to show the rigorousness of your work. In this particular case, though there are papers, conference proceedings, there are so many other papers, but the scholar included 2 types of papers: articles and reviews. Okay. Therefore, documents such as editorial material, proceedings paper, book review, meeting abstract are excluded. Okay. All articles published in other languages, only English. Manual refinement. Based on the manual refinement, the title and abstracts of 1813 articles were reviewed and relevant articles were excluded. I hope now the concept is very clear to all. How this particular scholar, he was having 3,273 articles, but finally he used as a part of his paper, he analyzed as a part of bibliometric analysis paper only 807 papers as a part of his research work. After framing the research questions, after collecting the data, after choosing the technique, whether it is VOSViewer, whether it is Site Space, whether it is BiblioShiny, whichever software that you want to use it. And we have presented about Prisma flow diagram, how we have done it. Now we have collected data. Now we are going to analyze it. As a part of data analysis, there are 3 different activities one can perform. One is performance analysis. Second one is science mapping. Third one is visualizations. Friends, as a part of bibliometric analysis, I have mentioned about applications in bibliometric analysis. I have shown you around 10 to 12 type of research objectives one can frame. But I also mentioned that it is not mandatory that we have to keep all 11 or 12 objectives. As a researcher, you can go with 3 objectives, 4 objectives, or 3 or 4 research questions. Similarly, it is not compulsory that one has to complete all the 3 steps. I'm only interested to understand the performance of this particular journal, performance of this particular topic, performance analysis in this particular area. I just want to understand as a part of performance analysis, total publications. Like for example, here you can see full detailed. I have shared this particular paper with you all. Publications, total publications, number of contributing authors, sole authored publications, co-authored publications. Second one, citation related matrix, total citations, average citations. We also have H index, G index, I index, we have it. Science mapping. So once we complete performance mapping, within this performance mapping, you can choose 2 or 3 areas or 4 areas. You can choose only one area. I'm repeating again. It is not compulsory that each and every performance analysis one has to conduct. It all depends on your research objectives. It all depends on the amount of volume of paper that you want to write it. Are you writing thesis, PhD thesis? Are you writing research paper that is for 6,000 words or 8,000 words? Right? So that also you also need to consider. Second one, science mapping. Science mapping includes citation analysis, relationship among publications. Who are scholars citing Dr. Rao work? Similarly, co-citation analysis, relationship among cited publications. Foundational themes. What are the themes are emerging? How each theme emerged? Which theme emerged first? What is the sequence of themes are emerging? How they are emerging? Bibliographic coupling. Bibliographic coupling. A and B scholar. Bibliographic. A and B citing C, D, E, and F articles. Bibliographic coupling means article A and article B, they are citing article C, D, E, F. Now we are trying to understand how A and B are related between each other. Okay, in terms of context, in terms of content wise, right? Similarly, co-citation. Scholar A and B were cited by C, D, E, F. So that is the difference between bibliographic coupling and co-citation analysis. I'm going to discuss when you're going to deal with the data set. So as a part of science mapping, we have 4 important components: citation analysis, co-citation analysis, bibliographic coupling, co-word analysis, co-authorship analysis. So science mapping is one of the important aspects which we are going to do it with the help of VOSViewer, as we are going to download it and we'll understand how this particular software is going to work. Okay. Next one is network analysis. So we have various network metrics, and we can also do it cluster analysis. And as you can see at the bottom right side, these are some of the softwares like Bibliometric R, that is nothing but BiblioShiny. I already mentioned about BibExcel. Gephi is another important software. I can see a lot of papers by using Gephi. And Puzik is another important software. VOSViewer, we have it. SkyMat, I mentioned about it. Okay. So these are some of the data analysis one can carry by using bibliometric analysis, especially by using VOSViewer. Okay. Scopus database with you all. So we have Scopus database. Yesterday we have discussed about it. So this is the interface of Scopus. We have, one can choose by documents wise, others, researcher discovery, organizations for selecting the articles. And we also have different fields like author title, first author, source title, that is nothing but research journal title, article title, abstract. So we all discussed yesterday. So we have phrase searching, truncation, wildcard. One can use it as a part of it. Now looking at the availability of time, we have very limited time. I'm just going directly with the collecting data. We are going to collect directly data. One person, please give me a topic. Only one person. Don't mind if I won't take other topics. Please type
work-life balance and stress, sir.
Please type it. Work-life balance
and stress.
So we have work-life balance and stress. We have around 1924 articles. Now, for example, the scholars, some of you are saying that, sir, we are not able to identify much articles. You need to use different keywords. Work-life balance and stress is one keyword. You can also use synonyms. You can also use other combinations, right? That we can able to gather more number of articles here. Now, 1924 is good amount for us. So we don't want to use any other keyword. Okay. So let's see filters. Who was the person? May I know the person who mentioned work-life balance?
Sir,
what is the
sir, I was asking, sir.
What
Shivram,
is the
sir. Shivram.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Professor Shivaram, he is going to conduct this particular paper. And imagine that he's fixing the timing from 2003 to 2023 for the last 20 years. Out of 1900, we got around 1800 articles. We got it right now. So we're not going to filter anything with reference to otherwise. With reference to subject wise, we can see if a number of papers are more, we can see some inclusion exclusion criteria. But you all knows, right? How to limit yourself. For example, if something related to medicine, I can exclude it. You can see the bottom. If you want to include it, you can, after selecting it, you have to include. If you want to exclude it, you have to click on exclude. Right now, I'm not selecting anything. I'm just going with all the options. But if you want to write research paper, what you have to do, generally you have to select it. I'm coming from social science, as this particular subject is related to business management and economics and healthcare for health professionals, right? We can include as per the requirement subject wise. One can start looking at it. Now for timing, I'm just including 5 areas. Now we got around 1400 plus articles, 1465 articles. We got it after giving certain subject wise inclusion exclusion criteria. Document type. The reason is always better to select only articles if you have good amount of articles, because what happens is, we all know that book chapters reference style is different, conference proceedings reference style is different, review paper reference style. So there are different formats. There is no uniformity. Sometimes they won't maintain it. So it's always better to select particular format style so that you can maintain the uniformity here, right? So right now I'm selecting one article. There is article. We have 1108 articles. We have it. Final publications. Keywords. You can see that if you want to use any kind of keywords, you can select it. I'm choosing all the keywords because we are also going to do keyword analysis. So I'm including all the keywords. I'm not excluding any of the keywords. Affiliations, I'm not excluding it because I want to know what are the affiliations, from where they are coming on it, from which country they are coming on it. Journals, I'm selecting it. Journal, you can also select other sources also, but I'm selecting only journals. Language is English. Limit 2. Limit 2. Now we got total 1042 documents we got after following all the filters. I hope it is clear to all. By following various search filters, I haven't discussed how to use search phrasing, truncation, wildcards, as we already discussed yesterday. For the sake of time, going directly with that. Okay, just click on search. Now we got 1042 articles, we got it. Now I want to export all the articles. Select all. As you can see here, option. Select all. Click on export. Click on export. There is an option called CSV format. Please select CSV format. If you are collecting data from Scopus, at a time one person can download 2000 references. In case if you are using Web of Science, one can download up to 500. It will show all the articles 2000, 3000, but you can import step by step, like 1 to 500, 5012 2000, like that one has to download the data. Okay, right now we are going with Scopus database. So we have more than 1000 articles. So I'm going to export in the form of CSV. So what kind of information is required? We required citation information. We required bibliographical information. We required abstract and keywords. And lastly, include reference. Now, export. Yes, madam, I'll be sharing the data. I'm going to share it in WhatsApp group. Those are working simultaneously along with me. Those are using your laptop PC. Please open your Google. Other people, please look at it. I hope my screen is visible. Type VOSViewer software download. Type VOSViewer software download. Please open the first. Please select the first search engine. So this is the interface of VOSViewer website. Visualizing scientific landscapes. One of the best software. It is open and free software. One can download it. One can use it at free of cost. And the best part of this particular software is that if you scroll your cursor, let's say, for example, go to home page. Please go to home page. The best part of this particular software is that time to time they're updating their software. If you scroll your cursor, you can see different versions. You can see different versions. Like for example, 1.6.15, oldest version, 1.6.16. Friends, those who are having old laptop, old PC, means if in case your Windows is, it's not more than 8. If you're operating Windows version more than 8, if you're Windows 10 or Windows 11, you can go with download 1.6.20. If you're having old system, old PC, go with 1.6.15 or 1. Okay, and check it Java, whether Java is your Java. Means technically I'm not good at it. There's a software called Java. It has to be compatible with your software. Yes, you can also download Mac version here. Please click on the download VOSViewer. You can able to see Windows version as well as Mac version here. Please select whether it is 1.6.20 or 1.6.15. Based on age of your system, you can choose it. Okay, and within VOSViewer, we have Microsoft Windows, we also have Mac OS, and we also have other softwares as well. So it depends on compatibility of your system. One can choose whichever software that you want to download it. Okay, just click on 1.6.20. It was the latest edition. Now you can see the people, those are looking at my screen. I started downloading the VOSViewer. I request all the members, those are using PC and laptop, please download it. It will take hardly a few seconds. It depends on your network that you have it. In the meanwhile, you can also see the few instructions by the time I download it. To download and run VOSViewer, we also need to follow certain steps. Download the VOSViewer from the web page, create a new folder, and unpack the downloaded zip file in this folder. Once we download this particular VOSViewer, we need to create a new folder, unpack the downloaded zip file in this folder. On Microsoft Windows system, run the VOSViewer Windows application. I'll show you how to do that. Yeah, my file is ready. Please look at it. Those who are not using your PC laptop, especially my main interest is for you. Those already downloaded is well and good. Those are waiting for my screen. The moment I downloaded the file 1.6.20, we got 5 files. I request all of you to please take this particular manual. Please download this, copy this particular manual. If required, you can take a print out of this particular manual. If you can able to go through this particular manual, you will get a lot of information how one can use VOSViewer. How one can use VOSViewer. Please explore this particular manual whenever you get the free time. Okay. Now, just click on VOSViewer. Just open. Extract all. Extract. I'm going to keep it in a new folder. Now, as you can see result right now, I'm going to open it. Is it clear to all? I hope. Please open your VOSViewer. I hope all of you must have downloaded this Scopus data that I have sent you in WhatsApp group. One of the most easiest way one can able to download it. Can you able to see that my progress? It took hardly 20 seconds to open the document.
But sir, we are taking too much of time to download. It is not downloaded yet. Maybe that is the issue.
Data, I think data is the issue, sir. That is only. Otherwise, it don't take hardly 2 seconds. Okay, by the time, let me talk about a couple of features. By the time all of you install it.
Yes, sir.
If you look at my screen, all of you.
Yes, sir.
We have, please look at my screen. You can see that we have this main document. Main document, we have it. We have 5 pages, 5 important options we have it. Number 1, what you're seeing, this is nothing but main panel. Means whatever the operation that you're going to carry, like what are the network analysis or data visualization technique that you're going to present as a part of by using various bibliometric data. This is going to be, this is the main panel. Point number 1, this is the main panel. Point number 2, as you're seeing here, if you want to make some changes in terms of visualization, like, in terms of wide scale, for example, there are a number of options. Are if you want to increase the font size, if you want to increase the network size, if you want to zoom it, there are a couple of options are available in options panel. Whereas when it
Yes,
comes to the third one, we have main information. Whatever the information that you are going to present, it will talk about, okay, you're talking about journals, you're talking about citations, you're talking about countries, you're talking about co-authorship. So the information panel, as you can see at the third part on our this particular page, it will come at the bottom of the this particular window. This is the information panel. There is a small window, as it is number 4. It basically provides the entire preview of what you're operating here. It shows small overview of the panel, the preview of the work that you're carrying. Whereas when it comes to the number 5, action panel, by using this particular action panel, you are going to import the data. You're going to open the data. You're going to save. You're going to take screenshots of the particular images or data visualization techniques. There are a number of options are available here, right? So total we have 5 windows here. One is main panel. This is the number 1. Number 2, it helps us to zoom it. It helps us to increase the font size, increase the network size. Okay, links, connections. Third one, it helps us to understand what kind of data that you are performing, what kind of operation that you are performing it. For example, number 3 talks about, right now I'm talking about journals. Which are the topmost journals, or how journals are connected with the various scholars, various countries. So it depends on the context that you're looking at it, one can able to see that. So these are some of the options that you have it. Are you able to install it successfully, everyone? Now, as you can see here, as already madam sent you the document, just try to explore. There are a couple of options here. We are going to create data visualization tools. So in order to create data visualization tools, there is left side, we have option called file. Left side, we have option called file. Please click on create. Please click on create. I hope that all of you installed your software successfully. You are going ahead with importing the data, scope of the data in VOSViewer software. Okay. Point number 1, go to file. We have first option called create map. There is first option called create map. Please click on create map. Okay. Now, once we click on the create map, it is asking choose the type of data that you have it. I want to create map by using bibliometric data. I want to create co-authorship. I want to create keyword co-occurrence. I want to create citation. I want to create bibliographic coupling, co-citation mapping. I want to create these are some of the data visualization tools I want to create here. In order to do that, just click on second option. Just select create a map based on bibliographic data. Okay. After selecting this particular option, just click on next. After selecting the particular option, click on next. Now, when it comes to the second, we have what kind of data we have it? We have data from Scopus. We have Scopus, for example, those are hanging data from Web of Science. We also have a couple of AI tools. I can say that a couple of databases like Dimensions. Dimensions AI is one of the open source database. Just like a Scopus and Web of Science, the people those are not having access to these two particular databases like Scopus and Web of Science, one can go to dimensions.ai or one can go to Lens. That is also free software. And PubMed again is based on subscription based. So it depends on the data that you got it from wherever you have downloaded. You need to choose it. For example, in case we have download data from the mainly EndNote reference work, then you have to go for this one. But as we are downloading data from the Scopus and Web of Science, it is always has to go with this particular document, this particular option. Please select the second option, that is read data from bibliographic database files. Okay, just click on next. Now, which one you have to go for it right now? You have to go for Scopus. Just click on Scopus. Now it's asking import the files. Just click on this particular option. As you can see my cursor. Just click here, Just go to particular destination where you have saved your file. Please go to particular destination where you have saved your file. I'm repeating again. I'm going back previous step. In the previous step, I have selected read data from bibliographic databases, that is Scopus, Web of Science. After selecting the second option, just click on the next. Then here we have 5 options, but my data, I got it from Scopus. So just click on Scopus. After that, there's option here. There are 3 dots are here. Browse. Just click on this particular browse option and go to particular destination from where you want to import the file. I want to import the file from the desktop. So go to particular place where you have saved your file. Okay. Now select the particular file. Okay. Just click on OK. Just go to next. After selecting the file, just click on the next. As we are doing for the first time, this particular data set, it will take, for the first time, it will take a couple of seconds. But whenever you start doing second time, third time, automatically it will be at a faster rate. It is reading the entire data file that you are trying to import it. Are you able to see the progress, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Other
Yes.
members? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Now, by using VOSViewer, if you want to write a bibliometric analysis paper, there are a couple of options are available. Co-authorship means I just want to understand what kind of co-authorship we have. For example, we have people from different countries, different states, different universities. So there are 3 types of options are there. Co-authorship means authors belongs to different co-authors, authors belongs to different organizations, authors belongs to different countries. Organizations means different universities, right? Similarly, we also have different countries. Second one, we have co-occurrence means what are the keywords are coming up from this particular title and abstract of the database that you have selected it. As a part of bibliometric data, we have importing the data file from the Scopus. Roughly, it is around 2000 database, around 1500 to 2000 bibliometric data. We have it. But I just want to understand how this particular 2000 titles, what kind of keywords they have used it. I also wanted to understand not only keywords of the titles and abstract, I also wanted to know what are the other keywords. For example, if you look at any research abstract, any research paper abstract, you will find title, right? Then you also find abstract and you also find certain keywords. Keywords of the other and keywords within the abstract and all the keywords will be there. So if you want to look at the co-occurrence of the keywords, there are 3 options. You can see all the keywords, you can see other keywords, you can see index keywords. Citation, just click on citation. If you want to look at the citation part, there are 5 options are available. You can prepare 5 different types of data visualization maps. One can prepare it like citation in terms of documents. For example, myself and Mr. Amul, we have some publications and we have completed 2 years. How many people cited our work? What was the impact of this particular research contribution? Then, which journals cited my work? Which journals having more citations? Who are the top 10 journals? Which articles having most citations? No, it all depends on your creativity. It all depends on how you can able to present the data. There are a number of options are available. Everything is on your fingerprints. Everything is on your fingerprints. Next, so others, as I mentioned, myself and Mr. Amul, we want to know what are the citations we have it, what kind of documents. Documents in sense, we have different kind of documents like public journal articles, chapters, conference proceedings. Next one, I can also look at the university wise. I can also look at the countries wise. So there are a number of options are available here. Next one, bibliographic coupling. Let me take you to my PPT here. As you can see here, co-citation means A and B. There are 2 authors. There are 2 authors, A and B. A and B articles were cited by C author, D author, E author, F author. A and B are both cited. A and B, both articles were cited by C, D, E, F. That is called co-citation. That's what we discussed so far. But there is another concept called bibliographic coupling. Means A and B cite C, D, E, F I'm just repeating again, as you can read here. A, B, for example, we have Dr. Rao and Mr. Amul. We have two papers. These two papers are having citations of the C, D, E, F. Means that you can see that how they are very closely content-wise, they are closely related to each other. For example, we have data. I think I have given you data poverty and social entrepreneurship, a poverty and sustainable development point of view. Now, A author also worked on poverty and sustainable development. B author also worked on poverty and sustainable development. But when it comes to C, D, E, F, there might be different objectives, right? Different objectives in the paper. Bibliographic coupling basically helps us to understand A, B, they are cited. What are the papers they have cited it? How they close they are. Whereas co-citation, A, B are both cited by C, D, E, F. These are the difference between bibliographic coupling and co-citation analysis. One can do it. One of the most important data analysis. Shall we go ahead with?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So as we don't have much time, for every future, I'll ask you one of your choice. We are going to do it co-authorship. You want to do with authors wise, name of the university wise, or country wise? Shall I go with countries?
Country wise.
Yeah, okay. So please select the country. Maximum number of countries per document. We are expecting minimum. For example, we have around 2000 data set. We are expecting that what are the countries that is going to display. It is going to have maximum countries per document should be 25. Just click on next. Minimum number of documents of a country. By default, it is showing 5. By default, you should go with 5. For example, right now, there are 116 countries in the current database that you have it. Out of 116 countries, there are 56 publications we have 56 publications belongs to one countries. For example, just look at my cursor here. I'm increasing the number. Instead of 5, I'll make it 6. Now here, instead of 56, it came to 51. If you want to keep it default 10, that also can be done. 5 also you can keep it, 10 also. It depends on the volume of the articles. You can take the call. There is nothing like hard and fast rule. There is nothing like only this much number you have to take it. Only one thing is ensure that you should have minimum threshold, minimum countries that are eligible. I mean, you are able to showcase, right? Now, for example, if you keep 10 countries here, there are 35 meeting this particular threshold. Okay, just click on the next. For each of the 35 countries, though there are 116 countries, but only 35 countries are eligible because as we are keeping 10 as a default, that as an eligibility criteria for the co-authorship. Okay, next. So these are the some of the countries, 35 countries we have it. If you want to cross check it, you can check it out here. Otherwise, just simply click on finish. Now, as you can see here in network analysis, network visualization. As you can see in the network visualization here. So this is the data one can able to see. This is what we have. Now, as you can see left side, right side, we have scale. If you want to increase the size, I can increase the size. There are circles and frame. Right now you are seeing circle. I want to put it in frame. As you can see here, try to explore various options that are available here. Which is the best looking one? If you are going to put it as a part of your research paper, which option is giving you best look, color wise, size wise, structure wise? For example, if you want to look at the colors, there are different combination of colors we have it. Let's take for example, one can also edit the colors, one can import the colors, one can export the colors. Okay, otherwise simply can go with black background. So we have choice. One can use number of choices that you have it. Okay, now here lines, as you can see that there are different lines. It indicates the size, indicates that, for example, United Kingdom, before United Kingdom, country like United States, the size is bigger than any other country. It means it is having highest number of co-citation, co-authorship. People belongs to United States. They are the most United States having highest number of research scholars who are preferring co-authorship. They have co-authorship from Belgium, Sweden. You can look at here how it is connected. They have authorship from different countries. Look at United Kingdom. Where is India? India is not okay. We have India. We have very less when it comes to the co-authorship. We have co-authorship. We have authors from China, Australia, United Kingdom, and United States. Okay, this is the way one can able to analyze. Let me show you a few papers. Before that, bibliometric analysis of published documents on entrepreneurship. Look at this sample paper. So they have explained inclusion, exclusion, everything we have discussed yesterday. Same process. Now here, so they have presented the data from which year to which year we have database. Who are the others? They have taken top 10 others, top 20 others. Okay. And we have top 20 countries. We have distribution of documents by subject wise. We have co-occurrence analysis of keywords. For example, entrepreneurship is the subject area. With reference to entrepreneurship, what are the other keywords are coming in this particular analysis? Okay, so you can see that the presentation. The next one we have total link strength of co-authorship. Okay, you can see the total link of co-authorship, how different co-authors connected. Total link strength of co-authorship for links for organizations, like the name of the university wise. Okay. Next one, co-authorship links for countries, the way we have presented right now. Co-authorship links for countries. Okay, same what we have done right now, what we have performed, that is the same one. Citation analysis. Citation analysis according to documents. Okay, we have different kind of documents. We have others from that. And we have details of top 10 documents in Wise Web of Science, looking at the number of citation wise. Total link strength according to sources, that is nothing but journals. Strength of the journals, what are the top 20 journals, 30 journals, 40 journals in your subject area paper, so that we can go ahead further. Okay, next. Again, go back to create. Is it clear so far? Before going to next document step, is it clear so far? Any questions
Yes.
on this?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Please go to create again. Just click on create. So what we have to do here? Anyone help me?
Next, ma'am.
Next. Okay. Next. What about next? What I have to do? Click on next. We already imported
Same.
data.
Huh.
So we already imported data. Data is already there with VOSViewer. Okay. Just click on the next. Okay. Once we import the data, it will be there till you're closing that particular file. As we didn't close the file, the data is already there within the VOSViewer. Okay. Now look at the co-occurrence. Co-occurrence, I just want to see other keywords. Okay. I just want to see other keywords. I just click on other keywords. You can also choose as per a choice. Other keywords. Next. There are around 196 are meeting our threshold. Minimum number of occurrence of keywords, we kept it 5. Okay. Click on next. Next. There are so many keywords are there. If you want to increase the default, you can make it instead of 5, you can also increase 6 or 7 also. We also have one zoom option here. Yes, here. As you can see my cursor, please look at my cursor here. I can zoom it. I can zoom out, zoom in, zoom out. I can do that part. If you want to, instead of frame, if you want to make it in circle, you can keep it in circle. You see what is your liking, which one is the best looks for you. And then you keep your cursor on particular keywords. For example, poverty is the most repeated, highest number of repeated keyword by any other. Okay. So we can see here Next one is social exclusion. Now, for example, somebody want to know how to export this particular data. We have screenshot is here. We have screenshot here. Just click on screenshot, whether you want to save it, whether you want to print it, whether you want to copy to clipboard. There are a couple of options. You can see that size, whether you want to make it 100, whether you want to make it 200, 300, whether you want to keep border. There are a number of options. Please explore some time, spend some time on it. Now I want to keep it, save it. I just click on save it. PNG format, I can save it. We can't make any changes once we download it in the form of PNG format or image format. Okay. So see that part, racial inequality. There are 3 more options are available here with a slight margin. For example, right now we are in a network visualization. It is showing how what kind of network we have between the different keywords. As I mentioned at the previous slide, previous top map, the poverty is looking size is very high. It means highest number of times it is this particular term is repeated. Secondly, you can also see the links how they are connected to different concepts. One has to see the strength of the connection. Second one, size of the connection. Okay. One is strength of the connection. Second one, strength of the seven. For example, I have shown you 2 papers. In 2 papers, there are some scholars, they have used data, tabulation part. They have presented data in the form of tabulation part. Now, if you want to present data in the form of tabulation part, we have to use Bibliometric. There is another software. One can do it in data visualization. One can also do it in tabulation part. Whereas when it comes to VOSViewer, it is just only visualization tool. One can only present the data in the form of only visualization. If you want to use the combination of both table as well as visualization, then you have to use the combination of both. That is Bibliometric as well as VOSViewer. Okay. Network visualization, overlay visualization. The best part of overlay visualization is that at the bottom, it is showing the some colors. It is showing the colors. The blue color, is it blue color? Is it blue?
Yes,
Light
sir.
blue? Blue
Yeah.
color is impact factor is high. It means strength is more higher than any other. Second one, we have green. Then last one is yellow. Okay. It's showing the strength of the keywords, which keyword is having higher strengths. Okay. Blue, green, and yellow colors we have it. Density is basically showing their density, how much closely they are connected, density wise. You may not, so if you can choose which option is the right option for you. You can see most of the time scholars, they present this particular data because they have some colors combination, so they can talk about it, colors. But you can also see what your liking is. If you want to have multiple colors, color combination, you can, this is the network. If you want to present in the form of density wise, one can choose the density wise. If, for example, this is the item density. Now I want to with the cluster. Cluster means, as you can see here, related to poverty, there are certain clusters: social exclusion, social poverty, migration. There's something certain close, cluster wise. Not able to see much cluster. Let me put it in white. Can you able to see the clusters here? This is one cluster. This is one cluster. This is one cluster. This is one cluster. Can you able to recognize different colors? Clusters. Clusters means they are which are very close, which are very which are similar to different keywords. Okay. Please go to create. Next, next, next. Citation part. Any choice? Shall you have countries? Other others? Countries? Which countries have highest citations? Next, next, finish.
So we are choosing only citation and countries, no?
Yes, you can choose as per. I have selected countries,
Okay.
citation wise countries.
Okay.
Is it clear how to operate it? Any questions so far technically? Looks like very simple, right?
Yes, sir, it is too simple.
Go to create again. Next, next, next. Bibliographic coupling. So any choice? Shall we go with the new one? Sources, journals. Sources, nothing but journals. Okay. Click on next. So there are 53. This time what I will do, I'll reduce it to number 3 so that we'll increase the number. Okay. So just because I kept it 3, we got around 123 are meeting the threshold. Okay. Next, next, finish. Go to network visualization. My God. I think you can keep it only 5, I think, if you want to present it. Good. Is looking good colors wise? Do you like these colors?
Yes, sir.
The colorful is looking good.
Very, very colorful, very colorful. And this
Hmm.
is, so other one we have only 3 colors. This is the overlay visualization. And density, we have this one. So how to understand this one? So we are looking at sources. This is the name of the journals and what kind of citation they got it. Which, right? So social indicator research is having highest number of, we are looking at citation, right? Is the citation part? Sorry, bibliographic coupling. Bibliographic coupling is nothing but A and B works were cited by C, D, E, F. Similarly, which of the journals are quoting the other journals? Social indicators journal were quoted are used by the, these are the some, this many journals. Okay. Similarly, we have social science and medicine is another one, which is having highest number of bibliographic coupling. Then we have one more social science research, urban studies. You can see that your area. In case you are downloading based on your own data set, you'll be more closely looking at it, right? One can easily connect it easily. International Journal of Research. So these are all name of the journals we have it. Okay. Just go to create next again. Create map. Next, next, next. This time we'll see with the others. Okay. Next. Only 10 are meeting threshold. We'll beat reduce it to 3 so that at least we have 40. Next, next, finish. So authors Karain and Featherstone were reported, was quoted by other different scholars. I think we can increase the number. I think we can do it again. Next, 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 next. This time I'll make it 3, 2 I'll make it. Next. So we got more data right now. Okay. So one can zoom in. Please use different options that are available left right side, like circle, frames, changing the scale, size variations, color combinations. There are a number of options are available. It depends on the availability of your time. Please explore all the options that are available. Okay. Go to last one. Again, go to create. Next, next, post citation. So we have options co-cited by sources. Next, next, finish. I hope all of you are doing simultaneously along with me.
Yes, sir.
Are you liking the session?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Was it useful? Can you able to write the paper after some days after going through this particular session? Do you think
Yes,
compared
sir.
to a systematic literature review or any other paper, is it easy to write it paper or not?
Yes, sir.
Right. One more important point, after presenting the data visualization tools, coming to the left side, there are certain clusters are available here. There are certain clusters are available here. For this particular data, we have network visualization, density visualization. Now, as we're dealing with citation with the journal's point of view, we have different clusters. We have five clusters. If you want to do it, qualitative data analysis, if you want to talk about it, what are the most repeated journals in this particular cluster one? We have total five clusters. What kind of journals are there in the cluster one? What kind of journals we have in cluster 2, cluster 3? What kind of journals we have it in cluster 4, cluster 5? Similarly, if you're looking at the keywords, co-occurrence of the keywords, we also have, there is also option called items. There is also option called items, means it is going to present the entire data in the form of 5 to 6 clusters, 10 clusters. For example, imagine that you got 10 clusters. You can reduce it to 5 clusters also. Okay. Now, you're going to talk about each cluster by going through the overall keywords. Okay, this particular cluster talking about main domain. What is the sub-theme? Within the sub-theme, what are the other topics are discussed? Okay, so one can talk about how this particular domain, what are the different trends or emerging in this particular area. So one can able to present a different kind of cluster. One can also do cluster analysis as a part of bibliometric research paper. Go to last step, create, next, next, next. Cited others, cited references, other. So again, for this also one can do it, cluster analysis. So this is all about for today's session.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thanks. Sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much. See you all and best wishes to you all.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome, sir.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir.